Hey y'all, I'm Jenny.
And I'm Shell.
Welcome
to Two Amp Queens Podcast.
where we will discuss true crime, paranormal, our daily lives,
And whatever else keeps us up at night.
If you like what you hear and want to show us some love, click the link down below to help us continue and bring you new podcasts each week.
Other ways you can support us are by subscribing, liking, and sharing where you can. It's a free way you can help us out.
You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. We are Two Amp Queens across all formats.
And here we go.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me tell you why. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm to get started today. Hey guys, so today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do sister tag, which is where we're going to ask each other questions and say what our answer is. So we're just going to kind of go back and forth and do a little more get to know us kind of thing, but take a break from kind of the heavy stuff. So here we go.
Who's the youngest and the oldest among us? Jenny is the youngest by almost 2 years.
Yep.
Born. We're going to give our ages away. She was born in 74. I was born in 71. So
late 71.
Yeah,
so
late
almost.
71, so almost.
And I was early 74. So anyway.
So you get to answer. You get to read and answer the second
Okay,
one first.
so the next question, we're going to say, what do you like about your sister? So this is a hard one for me because there's not like one specific thing that I like.
I thought that was going a totally different direction.
No, but I think it's something that I like and get annoyed at for her a lot of times too, and that's just her heart. And she's so, like, honestly, so sensitive and so caring about other people. And I think that is such a beautiful thing, number one. And number two, it's a very annoying thing because I feel like she gets taken advantage of a lot and she takes things a lot harder than I think she should sometimes. So I think sometimes she should be like, forget you. I was going to say something else, but
we'll keep it PG.
Sometimes she should just write people off, and she will never, ever, ever do that. As much as I would like her to, she won't do it, and it's very difficult for her to do something like that. So it's something I love about her and something that I get irritated at her for at the same time. So
the one thing that I like about Jenny is, and she'll argue this fact because she doesn't think she is, but she has enough backbone for the whole family. She's not afraid to speak her mind. She doesn't sugarcoat things. If you ask her a question, you better be prepared for the answer. And I love that about her because I don't have that ability. I tend to be a smoother. I kind of smooth things over and don't want to argue with people.
she'll tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah, I'll tell you what you want to hear. Jenny tells you exactly how it is. And I love that attribute about her because we've been through some stuff.
Yeah.
And the fact
And
that
I think that's gotten more the case. The
Yes.
older I've gotten, the more stuff has happened.
Yeah.
I think that's more the case. And
Exactly.
some of that is just because I don't have time for anything else. I don't have time to stroke your ego or tell you what you want to hear.
And
So
we'll reach on that in a later episode, but most of you that know us know that we we've learned over the last 4 or 5 years that you're not promised tomorrow, and life is super short, and you got to take things. Basically, you got to take it by the horns, and that's gone a long way to the person that she is now, because she doesn't put up with any bull from anybody, and she's going to tell you like it is, because you're not promised tomorrow. So,
and I mean, the biggest thing about all that is that your life can change
exactly
in the blink of an eye,
exactly
without any warning. I mean, my life is so different now,
yes,
than it was before.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, honestly, I took it for granted before that I didn't think anything could ever happen. And that my life was great, and I had a wonderful family, which I still have a wonderful family.
Yeah.
But my life is very, very different now than it was before. So I think that's a lot of the reason why I am that way.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Okay, the next one is, what do you and your sister have in common? And we were laughing about this a few minutes ago. We have a unbridled love for Mexican food.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't matter. We have our favorite places, but we're never one to turn down tacos.
No, ever.
It doesn't matter where it's from. We'll try any place once.
Yeah, for sure.
But our absolute faves are El Chico and Bueno.
Yeah.
And a lot of you are rolling your eyes going, oh my God, that's not real Mexican food. It's not, it's Tex-Mex Mexican food. That's what we grew up on.
Yeah.
Now, if you're talking about authentic Mexican food,
I'm actually not a fan.
She's not a fan. I love street tacos so much. And there are a few taco stands in Tulsa that are really, really good that I don't go to anymore, but we frequented. When I worked, we'd go there for lunch and stuff like that. So,
okay, what's your funniest memory together? It's hard for me to remember. I don't know if it's a stroke or what, but I think, I don't know, a million things come to mind, and I don't know what would be the funniest. One that I think about is going roller skating.
Yeah.
As a kid,
Yeah.
when we would go to church, we would go roller skating.
So much fun.
The other one that's like really big in my mind is when we went to the Wax Museum Haunted House.
Always.
With the church.
Always.
And Auntie Ann.
Yes. Our aunt,
So,
every year in, I don't know if they do anymore, but every year the Ripley's Wax Museum in Grand Prairie used to put on a haunted house. And the haunted house was really cool because you didn't know what was real and what was wax, because they did use their wax figures in the haunted house. Well, they had a display car that was, if anybody knows the story, it was a replica of Bonnie and Clyde's car. So it was all shot up, and they had a girl inside that looked like she had been all shot up. And I thought it was a dummy. There was a strobe light, and then all of a sudden she started getting closer. Well, my Aunt Ann was in the group with us, and I think it was Frankenstein that got really close to her, and she decked him. And this was before the whole "don't touch the people" thing. She flat out decked him because he was too close, and that. Honestly, that sums up our family right there. So, but yeah, that's
both sides.
Yeah, probably those are the greatest memories that I have, usually centered around church. But going to camp, we used to go to summer camp every year, and I cannot tell you how much I missed it when I aged out and went back as a counselor. But it was,
I never actually did go back as a
counselor. No, because you went on to school, and I went, but it was so much fun. So yeah, those are good memories.
Okay, so next one is, what do you do for fun? So, Shell, if you want to say what you do, then I'll say what I do. So.
Honestly, it's something we haven't done in a long time, but we did it last week. Me and my husband had this thing where we like to get in our car. We get up, eat breakfast on Saturday mornings, get in our car, and just go. And we used to do this a lot when our boys were little, and that's how we found like Pawhuska and Ponca City, and we went to what's the town right on the other side of the right on the other side of Nowata. It's in Kansas. I can't think of the name of the town.
I have no idea.
But we went there, and last week we went driving around and found some urban legend things. But that's probably the thing that I love the most is just getting in the car on a Saturday morning and just driving.
So what I do for fun, because I am at home a lot by myself, I do diamond painting. And I've been doing a lot of it. I'm kind of obsessed with it at the moment. So I have to have them all. And it's really fun for me. It's very OCD, which is right up my alley. So that's what I do for fun.
The next one is describe your sister in just 3 words. This will be interesting. You want to go first?
Not really, but I will.
Okay.
I think the 3 words that I would best describe you would be a beautiful soul.
Aww.
Aww.
I just love you.
So happy.
Mine is not so much a phrase, but I mean, just what I watched her go through. One that
3 words
is courageous. Just absolutely beautiful. And I know that's 2 words, and amazing. I mean, that's seeing what she's gone through over these last years. I mean,
this isn't supposed to make us emotional. So, stop it. What's your nickname that family calls you?
Shell, or my dad and my aunt always called me Shelly Marie growing up. So
mine is used to be Jenny, except for my grandma, my dad's mom. She always called me Judy Duty.
Yep.
And somehow, when my oldest nephew was born, and when he started talking, Judy Duty became Juju. So now all my family calls me Juju, except my mom.
Yep. And I think your childhood friend, Dana, who we love, I think she started a lot of that too, her and Becky.
Did she?
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly where that started, but
yeah, that's always been our thing. And then my grandbaby calls me Donnie, so.
Dad used to call us Goober 1 and Goober 2.
Yeah, he sure did.
So there's a lot of them. So okay, the next one is whose room is a mess? Hands down, my sister.
Yeah, always.
Hands down, her room's a mess.
Always. I'll own that. I'll own it.
Okay, so what's your sister's favorite game to play?
Oh gosh.
I honestly don't know this one. Unless it would be cards or something like that.
I mean, I play solitaire a lot.
Some kind of card game.
Jenny likes, and I don't know if she so much likes anymore. Jenny likes things like, what's those, the Cards Against Humanity?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So.
I like dominoes a lot too.
Yeah. That's a family trait.
Yeah.
We learned dominoes when we were little. So.
Yeah, play with grandpa.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your sister's favorite food or drink?
Right now, she loves El Chico.
Yes.
There's a certain burrito, and I don't know what the burrito is.
Tex-Mex burrito.
Tex-Mex burrito. We were just talking about it too.
Yeah.
The Tex-Mex burrito, and she's Diet Pepsi all the way.
Yeah.
Unless they don't have Diet Pepsi, and then it's Diet Dr. Pepper. So.
Yeah. Never Diet Coke. I'm so burned out on Diet Coke, I can't stomach it anymore. That's 13 years working at St. John Hospital. All they serve is Coke. So, okay. So I would think yours is street tacos, I guess, and then sweet tea or unsweet tea.
Sweet tea. I'm not supposed to have it, but I'm from Texas, dang it. I can't have it sweet tea.
We have a little bit of tea with our sugar.
It's not normal.
Okay, what does your sister think about the most? I think the thing you think about the most is probably your grandkids.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Jenny's is Nathan all the way because he's fixing to graduate. And
I'm obsessed with my kid.
Right now, she has an obsession with him. It's a good obsession. It's getting. I mean,
It's
she's getting
not
ready to go to college. It is too. It's what every mom goes through. Believe me. He's her baby, and he's getting ready to be
Go on for a
pushed out of the treehouse.
I'm trying to hold him in the treehouse. He's trying to jump. I'm trying to hold him in, but I digress. We could go all day talking about that.
Exactly. Well, and we'll have to do an episode about our kids. There may be more than one. It may be an episode 1, 2, and 3. Who reads more?
I would say you.
Probably me, because I still read. I still do, and everybody's probably gonna laugh. I still read paperback.
Do you?
Yeah, and hardback books.
I mean, I listen to books.
Yeah.
But the only reason I really listen to books is because Brandon plays them when he's going to sleep, so I have no choice.
Yeah.
But I'm more of a YouTube watcher.
Yeah.
I will watch true crime stuff on YouTube while I'm doing my diamond painting. So I'm not much of a reader anymore.
Yeah.
I used to be.
We're both. We have a healthy love for reading. We got that from our mom. I don't think I've ever remember mom not having a book or two that she was reading at the time. Yeah. And she kind of instilled that in us. And I'm one of those weird readers where I love the smell of like the library, or like there's a bookstore here that sells a bunch of really good, some used, some new. Yeah. I love going into that store because it's just, I think it's Gardner's books.
Yeah.
If you love reading, you understand what I mean by I love the smell of a bookstore. So, okay. What is the thing you'd love to do together? I'd love to travel with Jenny. We have such a good time when we go on trips.
I think we definitely need to take a cruise together. For sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I think the thing you would love to do most is go to a haunted place.
Oh, absolutely.
Do like a paranormal tour,
absolutely.
Something like that. Absolutely. I think that would be something you would love to do.
I would love to take, for me and her, to go to, a couple of years ago, I did a little bit of research on our family and found out that we're predominantly German. We're more than 50% German. And there are, up north where on my mom's side, where her family's from, there are monuments that have been dedicated to our like great grandfather in a town in Iowa, and I'd love to go up there to see that, and I'd love to take Mom to see it too, because we just found it out. We didn't know it had something to do with what him and his brother did during the war, and I'd love to take Mom and go do that. But we have so much fun when we travel together.
Yes.
We're those.
We do road trips together. So.
We have a CD that we play that has our soundtrack on it.
So. We have a mini concert.
Yeah,
we have a car search.
And if you are driving behind us or beside us, we dance while we do it too. So.
For sure.
Okay, who is the most talented? That's a toss-up.
See, I mean, here's my thing on that. Obviously, I think I'm more talented. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. I definitely think you're more talented. And the reason I think that is because when it comes to singing, I mean, we both sing. We've always sung.
Yeah.
But you can harmonize. And it's always you harmonizing and me doing the standard part, and you do all the other extra stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I can't do that. I mean, I can't hear it like that, like you can. You can hear and pick out the harmony, and I can't hear it like that. I have a hard time picking out the harmony. I mean, I can hear it, but I can't mimic it.
I look at the big picture because you do a lot more. Like, okay, Jenny she won't toot her own horn on this, but she has a table in her office that has these little holders on them that she made out of old candle jars. I am not that talented on stuff like that. She can empty out a candle jar, put like a label on it, and it looks like she bought it at Kirkland's and stuff like that. So that's in that sense, I don't have that bug. I've never had the the artistic side of
like
stuff. So yeah, I've never been able to repurpose stuff. I'd love to be able to do that because I'm a Pinterest nut, but
I did get that idea off Pinterest.
Yeah.
So
okay. What's your favorite makeup brand?
Mine actually is Lime Life, and not because it's more. That's more my skincare favorite.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, I would have to say makeup favorite because that's what I use almost all the time. But I do have a lot of stuff like from BoxyCharm and FabFitFun, things like that, that I got stuff. So, Tarte and Morphe, stuff like that.
That you normally wouldn't buy.
Right, that I wouldn't necessarily buy. If I'm going to buy something, it's going to be 9 times out of 10, it's going to be from Lime Life.
Yeah.
Like my brow pencil, Lime Life all the way, and I will buy 2 at a time every time. So
mine is, and everybody's probably going to roll your eyes, but honestly, it's been tested. I love e.l.f.
Yeah,
e.l.f. products, even their low end that you buy at the dollar store, are still very high end tested. My one thing that I absolutely love that I have, and Jenny actually gave it to me, it's a Tarte palette. And the reason why I love it so much is, I don't know if you noticed this, but it smells so good. Yeah. There is something in the eyeshadows that they put in there that makes it smell like, it smells like cupcakes, honestly. And when you're putting it on, you're like, gosh, what is that? I kept looking one day, and finally I smelled the palette, and I was like, oh, that's where it's coming from. So
yeah, so you're trying to put on makeup, and then all of a sudden
you want cupcakes. Okay.
I kind of have that all the time anyway. I always want cupcakes. So.
Yeah. Okay, this one. What is your sister really good at?
I would say
working my last nerve.
I would say putting things together, like outfits and
that's my guilty pleasure.
I don't know. I mean,
Jenny is really good at getting stuff. If we're going to do something, she can organize, for lack of a better term, the hell out of it. She can get it down to, we got to be here. This is where we got to do. If we got an itinerary, she takes care of the itinerary. She does all that stuff, and she's really, really good at it, even though she'll say she's not. But she
stresses me out.
It stresses her out, but she's better at it than any of us. So
the details, I gotta do the details. But I think my sister would be, her thing she's best at is gonna be like, she always has like the cutest little outfits where she's like, the shoes match the shirt perfectly, and the earrings match the shoes, and she's got her cute little jeans on and whatever. But she's always very put together as far as like her outfit go.
I'm one of those that buys a pair of shoes and then builds an outfit around it, or a pair of earrings and then builds an outfit.
Always been that way. Always been that
way. Who loves cooking and makes the most delicious items?
I hate cooking.
I don't think either one of us love to cook, honestly.
I hate cooking, but I can make a mean macaroni and cheese.
Hers is macaroni and cheese. I do things that Mom made when we were growing up, like the 2 most favorite things my husband loves and is my lasagna, which is my mom's recipe, and I make a damn good chicken fried steak.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, Rob loves, because I do the pan fried like Grandma did, and so I make a really good chicken fried steak. So
I think that the most detailed thing I make is Brandon's mom's stuffing.
Yeah.
And I mean, he always thinks it's good, but I mean, I think if it wasn't good, he would tell me, because he doesn't sugarcoat stuff either. So, but I think that's probably the most detailed thing I make, but I absolutely hate cooking. I can make a mean reservation, or a mean DoorDash order, but that's about it.
Love it.
So I'm not a cook at all.
I'm going to skip this next one because we keep asking the same question over and over. What's the best thing about each other? Okay. Answer it. Who takes longer to get ready in the morning?
My sister.
Really?
You do.
You think so?
Yeah. mean, if you don't count the fact that I only have one leg,
Right.
so it takes me longer to do things
Right.
because of that. But as far as like getting ready,
Probably. Yeah.
it doesn't take me very long at all.
No, not at all. I don't think so. I mean, I've been places where it doesn't. Who likes heels or flats? I'm a flat girl every day just because I'm lazy.
I used to like heels,
I
but
do too.
not anymore.
I mean, we used to, when we were in school and we would get dressed up, the one thing we had to have were heels.
Yeah.
And, but I think the older we get, I mean, obviously Jenny can't wear heels anyway
Right.
now, but the older we get, the it's about comfort. So,
Absolutely.
the next one is, are we close? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's my best friend. So
Yeah.
she's the one person that's
Bestie.
she's the one person, honestly, that's been through the same things, and we've always been pretty close, and not just me, but like my husband is honestly her brother.
Yeah.
I mean, we met when you were what, 16?
Yeah.
So
50.
so you know, he's more than just her brother-in-law, he's her brother. And so that's, yeah, we're super close.
Close enough where I can chase her around the house with a butcher knife and she doesn't get mad at me. So.
Absolutely. Forgiven, never forgotten.
I was only 3. But.
She was only 3. So, okay, who's hot? Are we talking hot flash? Because we're both of us, I think, are at that time in our life where we're both, it could be -2 outside and we've got a fan on us.
Yes,
so.
absolutely. We have a fan on right now, as a matter of fact. But hotness wise, like looks, I think both of us are.
Yeah. We look like different.
Nice looking.
We have there's a lot of times where people will ask, I've been asked if I was her mother. Neither one of us look old enough to be each other's mom. We don't look old enough to have the kids that we had. But our mother doesn't look old enough to be our mother. So
right.
We're always asked if she's our sister. So we got good genes.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, and our babies are older, and when I tell people how old my kids are, I've always get that. There's no way. I've been asked to show my ID before because they didn't believe I was the age that I said I was. So I think we're both pretty good looking.
Yeah.
What's the one thing you can do that your sister can't? I've already answered that. I can't do crazy stuff. So.
I thought you were going to say something else.
Oh, well, the one thing that I can do that she can't is walk on 2 legs. So.
I would say organize things.
Yep. I'm no good at it.
I mean, just a brief example of my OCD is we watch a lot of movies in our house, and we have, because we used to watch a lot of DVDs, now it's more on, like on Google Play or something like that, where it's, it's electronic, so we don't have to have the DVDs, but we still have them. And they are all, and I'm talking, we have upwards of 200 to 300. They are in alphabetical order.
Yep.
And I have taken each one out of its case to save space. And they are in protective sheets with the little page that goes with it that shows you what the movie is, the CD behind it in alphabetical order in little boxes. So it doesn't take up a whole lot of space, but that's the extent of my OCD. So I think organizing is something I can do that she doesn't really do. Or, I mean, I think she could do it. She just doesn't. But.
I honestly, and people laugh about this, I thrive on chaos. The more chaotic things are, the better off I am. So I know where stuff is, even if you don't. So,
what is a weird habit of your sister's? I don't think either one of us have really weird habits.
I bite my fingernails really bad.
I don't know if that's a weird habit. I think the weird habit for you is building an outfit around a pair of shoes. or a pair of earrings.
One thing that I don't know if people find it weird though. I am obsessed with belly dancers and drag queens. I love to watch. I love the whole costumes and stuff like that. I think I think it's just costuming.
Yeah.
I love costuming and I love to see people dressed up.
She's like an old school show choir kind of person.
Oh, always.
Anyway, so.
Yeah, I'll be that way forever.
You don't want to answer this one?
Which one? No, because I don't think that's anybody's business.
All right. Okay, so describe the last thing you did with your sister. Okay, so the last thing, like the last big thing we did?
The last big thing we did was our trip.
Yeah, we took a trip to Minnesota and came back home through Wisconsin. We took Nathan to visit some schools up there. One of which is a real contender for him to go to in Wisconsin. So,
which, by the way, it was so much fun anyway, because I've never been that far north.
Yeah, me neither.
So it was so much fun to go. Things were not so different up there,
right.
But it was different because one, it was snowing.
Yeah.
And they don't freak out.
No.
It was life as usual.
I think the funniest thing about that trip was, Nathan, bless his heart. I mean, we've taken trips, like we've been to the Grand Canyon, we've taken a cruise, so Nathan has been out of Oklahoma, but going up north, he asked for sweet tea, and she asked, what did she ask?
She asked how many sugar packets he wanted.
And he was like, what are you talking? He had no idea.
They don't know
what she was talking about.
They don't do sweet tea up there. Like, we can go into a store and they have sweet tea or unsweet tea. You put your own sugar in it. So it was a little weird. He had this look on his face like.
She was like, because I think she asked, like, what kind of sugar you want.
Yeah.
And he was like, what is she talking about? Like, he was so confused.
Because he thought they were going to make him sweet tea and with his preferred sugar. And when she brought him sugar packets, he was like, what is
this? What do I do with this? He had no idea what to do. It was terrible.
And one of the things that we did while we went up there was Jenny found out, and this was a really sweet part, she actually changed our route. And I know you did, don't say you didn't. She changed our route so we could go through Villisca, Iowa to see the Villisca Axe Murder House. If you don't know what it is, we'll be talking about that in a later episode too. Look it up, get familiar with it. We didn't get to go in because they were actually closed.
Right.
But it was really neat to get to go. And I think Nate enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
He read up a little bit about the story before we got there, and he was really interested when we got there. So it was pretty cool. So,
it was something like if you're going through that way, you need to stop and see it because it is such a big.
It's a neat thing. It's a big thing about that town. And it was actually a bucket list. Even though I didn't get to go in, I still got to see it. So I could mark that off my bucket list. So. Okay, the last one today is complete this statement, and I'll let you go first. My sister is.
My sister is older than me. Is that too generic?
That's a little bit generic.
Okay.
That's okay.
My sister is. No.
Yeah, she is.
My sister is. Crazy, beautiful, amazing, and my best friend.
My turn.
Yep.
My sister is probably the biggest part of my heart. Somebody that I always know I can count on no matter what. And somebody that no matter what this world throws at me, I know she'll have my back. And that's about it.
And if we ever get arrested, we're probably together.
More than likely. And you'll know there's a story that goes along with it that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because we go big or go home, so it's not like we're going to.
Yeah, for sure. So that's just a little bit more about us. I know we did kind of an introduction podcast, but, this is just a little more get to know us on a more personal level as sisters, and not just as friends, but as sisters, and being best friends and sisters at the same time. So thanks for listening.
Yes.
Say thanks for watching, but thanks for listening, and stay tuned because we will eventually be doing actual videos.
Yes.
Whereas right now it's more of the listening. Eventually we will get to videos, and we hope you guys stick around. Thanks for listening to our podcast so far. We really appreciate it. So don't forget to like and share, and let us know what you're thinking. And if you want to email us some ideas, you can email us at 2ampqueens@gmail.com. That's the number 2ampqueens@gmail.com. So let us know what you're thinking, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Well, that's all we have for today.
Drop by our Facebook page and let us know what keeps you up at night. Bye, y'all.